Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. If you are new here, hi, hello. If you are returning back, welcome back. So today we are going to be doing a reading about fear, specifically around how fear is your freedom, okay? Now before we get started, because I'm already getting some channeled messages, so we're going to do a collective reading. But before we get started, it is helpful that you tap into your own intuition so that you may receive the messages that are meant specifically for you. In order to do this, one of the ways that I like to tap into my own intuition and to calm my spirit down or calm myself down so that my spirit can come forth and listen and speak. I like to tap into my own energy by taking 3 mindful deep breaths. You want to inhale for 4 seconds, hold for 5, and exhale for 6 to 7 seconds. This just helps you get more in tune with your own intuition and your own spirit as well. Another thing that I like to do, if you are in a climate or location where you can do this, it is helpful that you go outside and put your feet in the grass and just ground yourself and calm yourself, because it will help you get more in tuned with your spirit guides and the messages that spirit has for you. Now, before we dive into this, I do want to talk about these cards that you see on the table. So for pile number 1, we have card number 15, hands. For pile number 2, we have card number 35, tree of life. And card number 3, we have number 5, butterflies. Now, I don't know if you noticed this, but all 3 of these cards have 5s in them. So you may start seeing the number 555. There's something about transformation that's happening for a lot of us in the collective. For some of you, you may have been waking up maybe in the middle of the night or in the morning, and you feel this almost like anxiety to you, and this is just spirit letting you know that things are about to change and shift. So even if nothing that you are aware of is happening in your physical world, there is a shift happening on the spiritual plane, and you may be feeling it. There's this like anxious, almost sinking feeling to a certain degree, and sometimes we have this when we don't know what's coming, and you may be laying in your bed thinking to yourself, I have no idea why I'm feeling like this. For some of you, spirit is just saying that there is a lot of change that's happening, and for some of us that's been feeling this for the past week to 3 days, I'm gonna say, it's because a lot of this is going to happen personally to us. There's a shift happening where a lot of change is going to take place. You may not even feel the same or look the same in the next 2 to 3 weeks. You may start to see things shift. And for some of you, this is for the better. And I'll rephrase that. For all of you, this shift that's happening is for the better. But for some of us, we'll be able to see the benefits of the betterment quickly. And for others of us, it may take a little time, right? We may have to go through a period of grieving, or we may have to go through a period of still uncertainty, that change is happening. So an example of this is, let's say you were to lose your job, right? And you're worried about how you're going to take care of your family. You're worried about how you're going to pay your bills. But then another job comes along right after that, right? And it's a lot more money. It's in a better field. It's in the field that you've always wanted to be in. For some of you, this is in the book industry, I'm hearing. So for some of you may be interested in going into the book industry. For others of you, this may have something to do with a child that could be coming into your life. So, maybe let's say you were going through IVF and the IVF didn't work, but then you got the chance to adopt, right? It's something like that, where even though it may not be exactly what you want, you're still going to get it, and it's going to be better for you in the long run. Okay. I do want to also talk a little bit about this entire reading. So of course we have 3 different piles. This came to me in the shower, actually. I think if you've been watching any of my videos, you know that I, from going forward, I will only be putting up readings when I get an actual message, like something that spirit specifically wants me to talk about. And this came out in a reading that I did for another of my clients as well. So I wanted to make sure that I put this reading out on YouTube, because there's something about the fear, right? And we're going to talk a little bit about that. So if you're not interested in hearing that, then you can go ahead and skip to your pile. So the timestamps will be in the description box below. Okay. For the rest of you that is sticking around, I want to talk a little bit about the fear. Fear being your freedom. So oftentimes in life, we have this, maybe there's something that you really want to do with your life. There's something that you've always wanted to do, something you've always wanted to try, but there's a fear there of what if I'm not good enough? Or there are too many people in this particular market, or my mom or my dad or my sisters made me feel like or my brothers made me feel like I cannot do this. And there's this fear in you, you want to do it. And this is how you'll know if this resonates with you. It is something that you want to do, not something you're being forced to do. This is something you actually want to do. And it could have been something that you wanted to do your whole life, but you won't do it or won't even try because you have this fear of failure. You have this fear of not being good enough. You have this fear of being laughed out of the room, or like, you have this fear of failing. And for those of you where this resonates, because you will know, like for a lot of you, you already know what this thing is. But for those of you who do not, when this message comes up for you, that thing that you're thinking about, like, I've always wanted to do this. And for some of you, because I can feel this energy, for some of you, you're going to think of something and you're like, it can't be that. And even that is your fear talking, because it is the first thing that popped up in your head when you thought about something that you really wanted to do but terrified you. And you're so afraid that you won't go down that path, right? So this reading is to kind of shed a little light on some of the things that, that we fear that could absolutely be a part of our destiny. Is how we move forward, is how we find our own freedom in life. For some of you, this is how you find part of your dharma. It's how you heal. For others of you, this is part of how you're going to make money in this life, is by doing the thing that scares you. Okay, so I'm done chit-chatting for the collective, and I will meet you in your pile. See you there. Hello, pile number 1. So you chose card number 15 with the hands card. So the first thing that I'm getting is Spirit is saying to recharge your batteries. For some of you, you feel like you've done a lot and you're kind of drained right now. And here's the energy that I'm getting. It's not even that you've done a lot of things creatively. You may be working a 9-to-5 and don't feel like you have enough time to do your creative endeavors. And this is definitely going to be something that you do with your hands. So whether it's writing, whether it's painting, whether it's a creator, right? You could be a content creator, whatever the case may be. I'm also hearing, I don't know why I'm hearing this, but I'm also hearing there's a shift that's coming in content creation, and people are going to want to see more of people doing things with their hands. So like, and this is no shade to any content creator out there. A lot of times what we see is like, I bought this new bag, or I have all this money, or whatever the case may be. And a lot of that can be a bit insensitive in the times that we're in right now. So Spirit is saying that there's a shift that's coming in content creation that's going to be more around getting information, learning how to do things. And so for some of you in this pile, you have a talent that you can do with your hands, and maybe you're afraid to put it online because there are so many other people who are doing this. Like, let's say you're a tarot card reader and you love what you do and you want to put it online, but you feel like you're not going to get as many likes, or you feel like there's not going to be a lot of people that is going to be tuning into your content. Spirit is saying to still put it out. I'm hearing post a video. So for some of you, you've been doing some things behind the scenes. You have videos that you have saved. Spirit is saying post the videos, right? Now, for some of you, I want you to keep this in mind because a lot of stuff is coming through. Let's say you make furniture, okay? But you recorded a video of you dancing and you love it and it's cute, right? And Spirit, you're saying, hey, well, I can post this content, but it have absolutely nothing to do with, what I actually do. Spirit is still saying to post the content because that's how you're going to drive business. That's how you're going to drive friends. That's how you're going to drive family. That's how you're going to drive strangers to your page, okay? Now, pile number 1, the energy that I'm getting, something that you may fear is working with your hands. And it may not necessarily be working with your hands specifically. Maybe the part of the fear that I'm getting is sharing, because I want you to notice how at the bottom of this card, the person's hands are like this, like they're giving something. Spirit is saying you may be afraid to share the things that you can do. So this could be, you could be a nail tech. You could be the type of person who's an architect. Maybe you draw, maybe you write, right? Whatever the case is, something about you working with your hands. There's something about you putting your spirit and your energy into a project. This could even be like body butter that you make, or soap, or something like that. But Spirit is saying that there's a lot of energy that you're putting into this work, and this work has a lot of benefits, not just to you, but to other people. And you may have seen this. People may tell you how much they love your product, or how much they love talking to you, or how much they love reading your books, whatever the case may be. There's something that you do with your hands that you need to share with the world. I'm specifically getting share because of these hands down at the bottom that are like this. There's something that you need to share with the world, and it is going to be your freedom. Now, I can feel the energy of pile number one saying, but what if I don't, get anything? And I want you to think about it like this. Like, what if I don't get any likes? What if I don't get any follows? What if I don't get any money from this? A lot of times in our lives, the things that we are meant to do in this life, we're not necessarily meant to make money from it, right? Maybe you're just meant to share and inspire others. And sometimes just sharing it is what your mission on earth is here to do, okay? So I want to say to take yourself outside of your comfort zone, which I know is hard, but take yourself outside of your comfort zone and share the things that you're doing. So for some of you, this is something you do as a hobby, right? This is something you do on the side. You have a, a full 9-to-5 job, or you want a full-time 9-to-5 job, and you're doing this on the side, but you're not sharing it with anyone. And if you are, you're only sharing it with really close friends and family, people that you know will love it. Those are the only people that you're sharing it with. This could also have something to do with love, because for some reason I keep seeing this pink and I'm drawn to these cards. So I'm going to pull those first, but this could have something to do with love. So let's say you're the type of person who, I don't know, maybe you crochet heart pillows, right? It could be something as simple as that, or you crochet and you love what you do. And a lot of what you've been doing right now, let's say you're doing a specific, a monthly project. So let's say every month you create something around the holiday in that month, right? And this is February, so Valentine's Day did just pass. So for some of you, this could have something to do with like love, or maybe you do specific tasks around specific holidays or when the inspiration strikes you, but you're not sharing it. You're only sharing it with people that will love it. And it's meant to be shared. It's something you're supposed to do with your hands. And maybe your 9-to-5 job right now is not exactly what you want to do. There's something else you want to do. Spirit is saying, if you have not start this as a hobby, start small, right? And work your way up, because I'm also hearing, I believe there's, a verse in the Bible that talks about your gift making room for you, right? This that you have, it is a gift. And I'm also hearing to tell you that you're not too old to start. You're not too old to really go after what you want. For some of you, you're listening to this and you're thinking to yourself, I don't even know what I want to do. Spirit is saying you really need to maybe try a couple of different things, see what makes you happy. But for a lot of you in pile number one, this is going to be something creative with your hands. I'm also hearing something about music. So for some of you, you could be a producer, or you write songs, I'm hearing. So really tap into that energy of working with your hands. For some of you, you could also be a Reiki healer, I'm hearing as well. You could heal with your hands. You may have even been told that, maybe you work with your hands, or you've shook somebody's hands, or gave them a high five, and maybe they told you later on, maybe they said, oh my God, this may sound a little weird, but I really feel a connection with you. You have really soothing hands. Maybe you massage people, whatever the case may be, but there's something about you working with your hands, and something about your hands are very healing. Okay, so let's get a couple of cards from the Romance and Love deck. I just want to pull from this deck just because that love kind of came through a little bit. We're not going to get a whole lot of cards, but I do want to pull from this deck, okay? Spirit, can you give me some cards for pile number one, please? What is it that they need to know about the thing that they fear? For some of you, you may fear being in love as well. You may fear letting yourself be loved. So we got abundance. You may fear letting yourself be loved, letting yourself be taken care of. For some of you, there may be a proposal coming that maybe you figured it out and you're afraid to let this person truly see you. But it's meant to happen. Okay, so let's talk about the cards that we have on the deck. Okay, so we have abundance, passion, window, and charisma. So for some of you, the things that you want to do with your hands, there is a passion for this. And I'm getting this image of somebody sitting at a window and looking outside. So this could be the equivalent of you sitting on your phone scrolling. yeah, this could be the equivalent of you sitting on your phone scrolling and you're watching other people do what you want to do. Like I'm seeing travel content as well. You may be seeing other people do what you want to do, and you may be saying to yourself, God, I could see how to enhance this video. I would do A, B, C, and D, or I could do blah, 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 blah. Spirit is saying that there is an abundance in this passion that you have. You have the charisma to do this particular task, but you have to like really go for it. For others of you, you may do this with a partner. For some of you may identify as a woman. So I'm hearing that you're going to do this with a partner. Okay. This is something that you and your partner may do together. So I'm thinking like, what is it? HGTV, where they flip homes or something like that. Like that's an example. It doesn't mean that's what you're doing, but it's an example of like people working with their spouses. So whatever this is, it may be something that you do with your spouse. You could travel with your spouse. You know, you can make content together or something like that, but there's something about you working together with somebody else. Okay. A spouse, a significant other, that might be a part of this for you. Okay. Spirit, can we get some other things about the fear? What kind of information do you want them to know about this thing that they fear? Let's see. What kind of ways could they move out of this fear so they can do what actually it is that they're supposed to be doing? Because I can actually feel the energy of some of you getting kind of excited about this, but you're still worried. We have moon, phases, cycle, intuition. Okay. And then bottom deck energy is watering can, asking for help, sharing burden. Okay. So that's confirmation. For some of you, this is something you're going to do with a partner. And for some of you that's listening to this, you may say to yourself, I'm not even dating anybody right now. That doesn't mean that this partner is not coming along into your life. But let's sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. So your first card is Moon. It talks about phases, cycles, and intuition. So for some of you, a lot of what you're going to be doing is intuitive. The work that you're going to be doing with your hands is intuitive. So an example of this is what I'm doing right now, which is tarot reading, or I prefer to call myself an oracle reader. But you may be doing something with your hands that's around your intuition. You may also be transforming people because there's a butterfly here. So a lot of what you may be doing in this life or that you need to do is transformation. I'm hearing Reiki healer really, really strong for some of you in this pile. You may have already been told that you have healing hands. For some of you, this is going to sound really weird, but maybe you do nails or something like that where you have to hold other people's hands. And I'm feeling this energy. There's a lot of maybe transference that's happening. So be careful what kind of attitude or energy you have when you are touching other people. Okay. Spirit is also talking about following the phases of the moon. So here's what I'm getting. There are going to be times where you're really going to be inspired by doing things, and then maybe not so much, and then inspired, and then maybe not so much. Spirit is saying, make sure you flow with that time. Make sure you be consistent with yourself. So I'll give you an example of this. I see a lot of readers do this where they will post content on YouTube, but they don't have a lot of open readings where you can book a personal reading. And it's because, in certain seasons of their life, they just cannot handle that much energy. And then they'll come back and they're like, hey, my page is open. You can book a personal reading with me. Spirit is saying, be true to your energy, be true to yourself, because those times of abundance, because you got the abundance card here, those times when things are really, really good, they're going to be really, really great. So Spirit wants you to save during that time, because they also want you to honor the cycles of your body, honor the cycles of your mind, so that you can shift and come back and still, do a really good job or do what it is that you're supposed to do. Okay. Then you got watering can here. It says, ask for help, sharing burden. So this to me is confirmation that a partner is going to be a part of what you do. Now, if this does not resonate with you, if you know you do not want a partner, then do not take this on, right? Because a partner doesn't necessarily have to be romantic. It could be a friend that you go into business with, but this does feel a little bit romantic to me. TMI, trigger warning. For some of you, you may do OnlyFans with your partner. If that is something that you're interested in and you've been thinking about it, this is your go ahead, okay? Only if that resonates. I'm not telling you, if you've never thought about OnlyFans, you've never thought about doing this with your partner, it's never come up. This is not the reading and say, oh no, the channeling goddess told me to go. No, I didn't. No, I didn't. I'm saying if this is something you've been thinking about, then you are getting the go ahead to do that. Okay. But I'm also hearing to make sure that you share your burdens. Make sure you talk about the things that you are dealing with. Share your wins, share your losses with your partner or with your friends or family. For some of you, this may be with a sister that you're sharing this with. The Spirit is saying, don't be afraid to share your burdens, okay? Don't be afraid to talk about the things that scare you, or maybe even the things that make you happy, the way you're succeeding, the way you're growing, okay? Let's pull a couple of cards from the ancestors. Let's see what messages the ancestors may have for you for pile number one. Ancestors, what messages do you have for pile number one? What is it that you need them to know about their fear and freedom? Wow. Okay. So I have two cards that flew out. We have the Peacemaker, Persistent Patience. Make sure you can see it. And then we have Father of Earth, Generosity. Woo. Okay. Your bottom deck energy is Creature of Earth. It says take charge. So you got two Earth cards here. I want that to be known. Now, if you listen to the original, not the original, when I first turned on the camera, I did a collective message in the beginning. So if you haven't listened to that, it might be beneficial for you to go back and listen to that. But I did talk about how sometimes the things that we are meant to do, there's no monetary value involved, right? We're just meant to do it. Pile number one, this is something you are definitely going to make money from. So if we were looking at the traditional tarot cards, if I'm not mistaken, this is the King of Pentacles. This would be the Queen. No, this is the Knight of Pentacles, right? So here's what I want to tell you, that the money that will come in from you using your hands, it may come in slowly, but it's giving like the energy of like molasses or honey. It is going to stick around, right? It may start to trickle in a little bit slowly, but when it starts coming in, it will just flow, right? If you ever have poured honey, you know that once it starts pouring, it just keeps coming, right? You have to almost, like if you're pouring it from a jar, you have to turn to stop it because it's still spilling. So for some of you, this is definitely something you're going to make a lot of money from. I'm also hearing generosity. So you may be the first millionaire in your family is what I'm hearing. You may be the first person in your family. You may be the reason that a lot of your family members get to retire. I'm also, and I can't think of what sign it is. I can't think of what zodiac sign it is, but the zodiac sign that is associated with the ram, you could be that. I'm also hearing you could be an earth sign, so a Taurus. I can't think of the other two, sorry, but you could be an earth sign because you have two earth cards here. Now, I want to talk about this first card, which is Peacemaker, Persistent Patience. So here's what I'm hearing to tell you. A lot of what you're going to be doing in this life is being the peacemaker. You may have, and for some of you, you've already kind of felt this. You are the negotiator or the mediator in your family, and that is part of what you came here to do. And it may scare you a little bit. And this is also the Temperance card if you were looking in the tarot deck, right? There is a balance that needs to be here. And I think that's also why you got this moon cycle. I know I'm hopping all over the place, but I feel like the reason why you got this moon cycle card and you got this is because there needs to be a balance in what it is that you do. Whatever it is that you're doing or will be doing with your life, it is going to require times of like downtime, right? And I keep going back to the example of like readers, like oracle and tarot readers. Sometimes you will see them, they're posting a crap ton of content, and they have like a lot of openings for personal readings, and then the content kind of slows down, and then they say, hey, I don't have any open readings right now. That's the energy that I'm getting. There's going to have to be a balance and flow in what you do. For some of you, you might want to tap into the cycles of the moon. That may be very beneficial for you. Maybe doing spell work around the times of the full moon, the waxing, waning moon, whatever it is. There's something about you needing to study the cycles of the moon so that your work aligns with the cycles of the moon. Now, you don't have to necessarily be an intuitive reader. You could be doing something else, like, and I don't know why I keep getting like doing things with your nails, like, doing nails or something like that. But you want to follow the cycles of the moon. You want to be consistent with what it is that you're doing. Okay. But your ancestors is coming in to say that there's a lot of money to be made in this endeavor that you want to do. There is a lot of healing in this endeavor as well. So a lot of you could be healing generational curses. And I'm also hearing breakdown. So there could have putting a breakdown in your family. And you doing this work is like giving the generation that's coming behind you the strength and the courage to do what it is that they want to do. Okay. Any additional messages you have for pile number 1? Wow, money tree. It says dreams come true. You will get what you have long desired. Enjoy your wealth. This is just confirmation. Your ancestors are coming through to say that there is wealth. And wow, you're not gonna believe what this bottom deck energy card is. But let's keep talking. So you got money tree. Your ancestors is definitely say there's a lot of money to be had in this endeavor, but you just have to take that first step. You just have to keep going, right? Even when it doesn't seem like you're making any money, even when it may not seem like you're having a lot of content or people clicking on your page, keep going, right? Because here's the thing I'm getting. Let's say you are a nail tech, right? And you have maybe a client here or a client there. And then all of a sudden you get a celebrity client, right? And they introduce you to some of, their friends, or you just have this client, but you're making so much money from this client that this is the only one you need, right? That's what I'm getting. So don't be discouraged by outside information, because this could come in a very different way for you, okay? And then look at your bottom deck energy. You have winning. It says sooner or later, luck comes to everyone. Don't spend everything at once. So your ancestors are definitely saying that there's a lot of money to be had here. For some of you, like I mentioned before, this is going to trickle in like honey, but it is going to stick. It is going to stay. You may find that things that you want to do are cheaper, or there's always a discount when you want to do something. It's because Spirit is bringing winnings in for you. For some of you, this is about you playing the lottery, not the physical lottery, but the lottery in life. You are going to feel like you have won the lottery when it comes to you working with your hands and tapping into the thing that scares you. Okay, let's get you a fortune teller message. Let's see what fortune has for you. Fortune, what message do you have for pile number 1 about fear? It says magic flows where intention goes. Manifest your dreams. So for some of you, you really do need to tap into your own manifestation abilities. You need to put more intent into what you want to do. So this is going to be a two-sided message, okay? For those of you who are already doing this as a hobby, Spirit is saying to tap into it more. Put a little bit more intention into it, right? Give yourself a little bit more grace, but also don't just sit on it, because there's something beautiful in your hands that you can do. For others of you, Spirit is saying you've been thinking about it, but you may, not have tried it because of the fear. Spirit is saying put a little bit more intent in what it is that you want to do, because intent is what's going to drive it forward. Okay. Bottom deck energy, it says a mystical force is guiding you. Trust in its wisdom. So for some of you, you may be getting advice very soon from somebody that you love, or that you care about, or that you trust. Spirit is saying to trust this advice is coming to you. For some of you, this is going to come in the form of a dream. I'm specifically seeing somebody with a wolf staring up at the stars. That does not have to be specifically you, but that is the image that I'm getting. For others of you, you may be listening to an astrologer, and they may, you may hear a message, and this is just an example. You may hear a message about, hey, this is the best time to manifest, or because your planets are in alignment with this particular thing that's going on, it may be the best time to do A, B, C, and D. Spirit is saying to follow that advice. Okay, let's get you some divine guidance around what it is that you need to do. Pile number 1, can we get some divine guidance about their fear? What kind of messages do you have for pile number 1? Thank you. Okay, we have trust. It says, allow me. And wow, look at the hands here. And I want you to look at the hands here. This is confirmation. Spirit just continue to give you confirmation. So it says, allow me, divine, to give you my deepest longings, trusting you to know exactly how to handle them. So Spirit is saying that this, whatever it is that you do with your hands, this has been given to you by the divine. Spirit is saying to trust that they've given you what they need to give you, because you are the person that can do it. Okay, they've given this to you for a reason. There's going to be a lot of transformation here. For some of you, you may resonate with pile 3. So I would definitely say to have a listen to that, because you have butterflies here, and pile number 3, I believe, was butterflies. So there may be a message in that pile for you. Okay. And then your bottom deck energy is deepening. It says, once you're on earth for enough lifetimes, your old soul will begin to long for non-grasping detachment and surrender. They bring the peace of God. So this is what I'm getting, that there needs to be a detachment from what it is that you feel like you cannot do or you haven't had enough time to do, because there is a calling on your life. There is something that Spirit wants you to do, and they want you to get deeper into yourself. For some of you, you may start to see black cats. You may even see one in your dreams. This is just confirmation that Spirit is saying to go a little deeper. I'm hearing, I think it's from the Cheetah Girls, dig a little deeper. Spirit is saying you need to dig a little deeper into the things that it is that you want to, that they have for you. I'm also hearing the song from The Princess and the Frog, dig a little deeper. So Spirit really wants you to dig deep within your soul, find that courage to move forward and do the things that it is that you need to do. Okay, so pile number 1, this is all of the messages that I have for you. I really enjoyed doing your pile. This is kind of awesome. And I will see you next time in our next video. Bye. Hello, pile number 2, and welcome to your pile. So your card is number 35, Tree of Life. So the first thing that I'm getting here is birth, creation. That's what I'm getting for your pile. I'm getting this energy around something new being created. So some of you may be very creative. For some of you, this may, what this is around is having to do with your children, or the desire to be a mom, or the desire to be a parent. That is one of the things that you're meant to do in this life. Now, I will say, if this does not resonate with you, this is not the pile for you, because a lot of what this is, like a lot of the energy that I feel is about creation. I will also say that you may be the first to do something. So an example of this is, let's say there is a specific app that you want to build and you've never heard of it and there's nobody else in the world that's doing it or has done it. It is your job to create it. So a lot of what pile number 2 is going to be doing in this life is creation and birthing things, whether this is birthing a human being, birthing a new thought process. Maybe you're going to birth a new religion. I don't know. But something about this is you birthing something new. It's going to start from you. You are the tree of life in this particular situation. For some of you, you've been really feeling called to do something, but it scares you, right? Because there's so many different things that you need to think about. There's so many different aspects of what it is that you want to do. But your job in this lifetime is to be a creator. For some of you, I'm feeling heavy feminine energy with this, because we are, as you know, most people don't want to talk about it, but we are creators, right? We are the givers of life on earth. So a lot of this is a lot of feminine energy. But for some of you, this is about you birthing things into creation. This is something new. The first time it is ever done or ever heard of is when you do it. And that may seem impossible, but it is not. There are some ideas in your head that you've been thinking about, and you may have been saying to yourself, I know somebody else has done this, and they haven't, right? Or at least they haven't done it the way that you're going to do it. So a lot of what you're here to do, the thing that could be fearful for you, is creation. It is birthing. It is giving birth to something new, new life, new existence, new homes, new whatever the case may be. There is something that you want to do that has not been done before, or in the way that you want to do it, and you are going to be the creators. Now, I want to say this, okay? I am going to be very woo-woo in this pile. I can feel it, okay? So if you are not ready for this message, I would definitely suggest choosing another pile. But pile number 2, you are, like, the image that I'm getting, and this is why I'm saying it's going to be controversial. So this will be a chance for you to click off if it's not something that you want to hear. The energy that I'm getting is the energy of God or goddesses. That is what I'm getting. The energy of a God on earth, a creator on earth is what I'm getting. So if this is not the message that you need to hear, if this is too far for you, no worries. Like, no, you know, I understand. Maybe you need to click on another pile, okay? For those of you that is sticking around, for some of you, you believe in the energy that every one of us have God within us, right? You believe that there is a version of a God or creation that is in you, and you are absolutely correct, okay? There is something about you being on the creator level, and like I said, You're gonna have to really dig for this one. But for some of you, you are going to be on the creator level. For some of you, you have already been visited by ascended masters. If you have not, this is going to start to happen to you. And if you haven't done it already, you may start to see these ascended masters in your dreams. There may be confirmation that ascended masters are coming toward you, but you are going to be given life. For some of you, you smoke ganja, and that may be how you get more in touch with your creative path. I'm not saying if this is not something you want to do, don't do it. But I'm saying for those of you where this resonates, you are going to tap into that creative ability. And one way to do that is by almost getting outside of your body, and ganja may help you do that, right? This is not me promoting that people do, drugs or anything like that, but something about you getting outside of your body and seeing, like, your physical body and seeing yourself in a different light is going to be helpful. For some of you, you've already had a life or death experience where you may have been, unconscious. You may have been unconscious for quite some time. You may have, quote unquote, left this world for 2 or 3 minutes and you're back. You'll know if this has happened to you. This is going to resonate with you. There's something that you saw. There's something about you stepping outside of your own comfort zone to be able to see the truth in who you are, right? And it doesn't necessarily have to mean that you passed away, so to speak, but there's something about you getting outside of your head. You may be an overthinker, and there may be things that you can do to get outside of your head. Like I'm hearing sex, I'm hearing, ganja, or whatever it is that you do to get outside of your body. Now, I want to say again, I am not promoting people doing drugs. I'm just saying there is something here about you getting outside of yourself to see yourself, right? To understand the power of creation that is within you, okay? Now, because this is the kind of reading that we're getting, I definitely want to pull some of the ancestor cards here, because I'm also not trigger warning, but you might want to turn it down. I'm about to shuffle a little bit. I'm getting the energy of Black Panther, the movie, the very first one where he goes to the tree and talks to the ancestors. So I definitely want to pull from the ancestor deck to see specifically what ancestor may be coming through for you. For some of you, the part of your guide or spiritual team is your ancestors, and they may have been, known for inventing something or creating something, even if you're not aware of it, okay? Ancestors, what messages do you have for pile number 2 about their fear being their freedom? What messages do you have for them? Thank you. We have altar of earth, limited prosperity. Limitless prosperity. Okay. What other message do you have? Thank you. We have the ancestral force completion. Okay. What else? What other messages? Thank you. We have Jumbi, total disruption. Oops. Let's see if those are supposed to be out. Are those supposed to stay here? Because they flew out. Yes. Okay, so we're going to put both of these out. We have altar of air, clarity. And then we have the unknown, enigma. Move these over a little bit so we can put down the bottom deck energy. Okay, your bottom deck energy is Mother of Water, emotional self-care. Okay, your ancestors have a lot to say to you. Now, I do want to highlight this. There are a lot of 3s down here. So we have 37, 13, 32, 30, and then you have card 35. For some of you, the number 3 could be very significant for you. I'm also hearing that things come to you in 3s. So let's say if you wanted to, let's just give you an example. Let's say you wanted to write a book, but it's about a book you've never written or ever heard of anybody writing. And it could be, you could have a trilogy on your hands, right? 1, 2, 3, right? That's just an example, but the number 3 could very well be very significant for you. Okay, so let's start at the beginning. Your first card is altar of earth, limitless prosperity. Now, I said limited, so for some of you, you may be in a stage in your life right now where it feels like your prosperity has slowed down, or your money or the things that you want to do, because prosperity doesn't necessarily have to be, monetary wealth. It can be in other places. You may feel like your connection with spirit is a little bit slow, but spirit is saying, your ancestors are coming through to say that the possibilities are limitless, right? You can go anywhere. And maybe for some of you, you have only done maybe one or two things, and there's something else that you want to do that you're afraid to do, and that is where you're going to find limitless possibilities. Okay, this is also the Earth. I believe this is the Queen of Pentacles card. So for some of you, you may be an Earth sign. This may be your confirmation that you are on the right path, okay? But there is something here about you tapping into limitless prosperity, limitless possibilities. For some of you, your brain thinks in a very authentic way. So I'll give you an example of this. One person that I feel like really kind of tests the boundaries a little bit with open thinking is Rosemary. She is a Black author that I absolutely love. And some of her stories are just so out there. It's things that you would never think of, but you kind of love the books. That's the energy that I'm getting. Like, you really think outside the box. Even if you don't tell anybody about the way that you think or your designs or things that you want to do, you really think outside of the box, right? So for pile number 2, there's not going to be like one specific thing that you're supposed to do. You are the author of creation, right? So you may be the type of person who you may create a lot of apps or a lot of books, or you may create things and then sell them off, right? You're only supposed to be the creator. So I'll give you an example of this. I'm actually currently in the process of writing a book where the person in the book is very intelligent. She creates all these apps, but she never holds on to them, right? She gives them away. She sells them, right? And then she moves on to something else. And I want to tell you, pile number 2, don't get so caught up in like saying, hey, I created this thing, I have to be here forever. For some of you, you are just meant to birth. And I'm hearing the movement. So for some of you, you could be birthed in a movement. You're just meant to give life to it, right? You're just meant to almost, you're going to be like a mirror, right? For other people, you're going to be showing them possibilities, and then you're going to move on to something else. You're not meant to be in a box, because you are so limitless, because your power and your knowledge and what it is that you're meant to do on this earth is so limitless. It's not going to just be one specific thing that you're going to do, because you are, quote unquote, I'm hearing this, you are the author of creation. That's what I'm hearing. That is what you are meant to do, is to create. Okay. Then we have card number 2, which is the ancestral force completion. So this is, to me, confirmation that you're not meant to see a lot of things through completion, right? You're just meant to create them and then move on to something else. It is on somebody else to take that. So there's something about you needing to learn detachment. You needing to learn to be free of the idea of like, oh, like an example of this. That's my daughter. I gave birth to her. She's mine, right? There's something about you needing to let go, to let your child fly, or in this situation, something that you gave birth to, let it fly. Let the world continue to move. Let that form to completion. But your only job is to create it, right? That is part of what you're here to do, is to create and birth new ideas, birth new movements, birth new things, right? That's part of what you're here to do, okay? Then we have Jambi, total destruction, which is card number 13. If I'm not mistaken, this is the Tower card. So a lot of times you birthing new things could come out of destruction. Maybe that may be, a lot of the ways that you birth some of the most, out of the wall thinking things is because you're going through a period of disruption, or things may happen in your life and it may, birth a new book, or it could birth a movement, right? You could see something and you're like, I want to do something about this. That could be part of how you get into these instances of creation. So I'm also hearing to tell you, do not be afraid of things falling apart, because in that I'm specifically seeing like the phoenix that rises from the ashes. You may have a phoenix tattoo, or you may see one or want to get one, but I'm hearing you're more like a phoenix, right? You keep like things burn down into ash and then you move on, you birth something else. Things burn down to ash, you move on to birth something else. A lot of what you're going to be doing in this life, a lot of birthing that you're going to be doing, it is going to come after total disruption. Okay. Then we have altar of air. You have clarity here, which I believe is the King of Swords, or it may be the Ace of Swords, I'm not sure. But there's something about your mind being very sharp, your mind being very powerful. There are also butterflies here. So a lot of what you can feel, like you may have felt like your life is a series of transformations. You're always changing, you're always evolving, you're never staying the same. That's for a reason, right? Because Spirit is trying to teach you detachment now, so that later on when you have to let these things go, when they're no longer meant for you, you can easily do so, okay? There's going to be a lot of clarity clarity that is going to be coming into your life. For some of you, this reading is the clarity that you needed to understand how you move in this life, to understand why you do the things that you do. Is because you're not meant to do that one thing forever, okay? You are what we would call a generalist, right? You can do a little bit of everything. For some of you, maybe a Gemini. You could be an Aquarius, you could be a Libra, but you are meant to do so many different things that you cannot be kept in a box, okay? Then we have the unknown, the enigma. For some of you, I'm specifically seeing, and I don't have that deck out here with me, but I'm specifically seeing the card where it talks about you are not for everybody. This is very true. For some of you, you could feel like your life is very lonely because people don't really get you. People don't really understand you. And it's because you are an enigma. You're not meant to be understood, right? And that's why a lot of you, you're only going to be able to create, but you're not going to be able to follow the project through to what we would consider completion. Like you'll be able to see it, but you'll be on to something else without detachment. It's because you are an enigma. Excuse me. For some of you, you may have also been a surrogate in your life, because I'm feeling like this detachment energy. You give birth. Yes, that's what it is. You're a surrogate, and it may not be in a specific, you may not actually give physical birth, but for some of you, your life is about being a surrogate. It's about you giving birth and then releasing that attachment. But this unknown enigma card is really telling you you're not for everybody. And I want you to notice here how there are two women, look like they're pouring things on her, and it is flowing into the earth. For some of you, you are just a vessel. And I know that may be hard to hear, but you are a vessel for a lot of things, for a lot of ideas. And you may not even know it. So let's say you're having a conversation with somebody, and because of the conversation that they had with you, they write this book, right? And you may never know it, but your contribution to this world cannot be denied. Your contribution to the earth cannot be denied. For some of you, your life is going to be a little lonely. For some of you, you are not going to have a whole lot of friends, but you will be dealing with a whole lot of people. You will have access to a lot of people, and I'm hearing the word influencer, so you could be an influencer at some point, and it may not be in a traditional sense. Some of you could be public speakers, but you are an enigma. You are not for everybody. Not everybody is meant to be in your presence. Some people are meant they're meant to come and get something from you, and then they're going to move on. So you may find that you don't, you may be 40, 50, or, 20 or some years old, 44 years old, and you don't even have the same friends that you had when you were a kid. It's because they came to get something from you, and they're meant to be gone out of your life. And you may also notice that when you try to hold on to people that are not meant for you, like there is this energy of like they get pushed out of your life, okay? You may also see the number 44 a lot, or 444 a lot in your energy, okay? Your bottom deck energy is Mother of Water, emotional self-care. So something about this energy is telling me that you really need to take out a lot of time for yourself. You need to sit with yourself, not just physical self-care, but emotional self-care, right? And I think this is what we talked about with the detachment, to release things from you that no longer serve you. That is emotional self-care, right? Not holding on to the things that you've built or that you've created. You are only the creator. You are the mother in this situation. For a lot of you, you may resonate with Mother Gaia. That energy may be very strong in your aura. You may resonate with a lot of goddesses. You may also be the type of person where you don't really tap into gods per se. A lot of the people that you resonate with, that you like, they may be goddesses. So I'm hearing Lilith, I'm hearing Hecate, I'm hearing Isis. So you may tap into deities like that, like Lakshmi, Mama Wati. You may tap into more of the feminine energy, and that's because you are a mother. And it may not be in a physical sense of a woman who has given birth, but you really your comfort is sitting in your feminine energy, and that may scare you because you've lived so much of your life in the masculine. But tapping into that feminine energy is you. Like I'm getting this image of like you sitting there and things coming to you. And it's because you have to be in this place of stillness, because you are going to give birth to a lot of things. A hawk may be significant for you. So you may start to see hawks in your life when things are about to change or things are happening in your life. Okay. Let's get you some cards from the Citadel deck. Any information for pile number 2 or additional information about their fear being their freedom? What additional information do you have for them? We have the Dancer, self-expression, strength. Okay. I'm hearing you're going to move through life with a lot of ease as well when you tap into this mother energy. We have the Poet, relationships, vulnerability. Okay, can we get... Thank you. We have the Acolyte, new projects, learning. Bottom deck energy is the King, control, reversal of fortune. So here's what I'm hearing to tell you. For those of you who are in a relationship with an individual, whether this is a male or a female or however they identify, and they are trying to control you, this is not where you need to be. There is something about the energy of control. They want you to do what it is that they want to do, because here's the reason why I'm bringing this up specifically, because your first card is the Dancer, self-expression and strength. There is something about a fluidity that you need to have about who you are and what it is that you want to do. There's a fluidity there that control just doesn't work for you, right? I'm hearing you need to turn something on its head, and you'll know if this message resonates for you if you're in a relationship or not. It is also going to change how money comes into your life. It is going to change how you are perceived in a good way, right? Because you are in this situation where I feel like you've been holding yourself back. Now, like I said, if this does not resonate, if this part is not for you, that's okay. Not every piece of the reading is going to be for everybody, but take what resonates, okay? But there's something about a control here where somebody feels like that they need to control you. And by you letting them do so, it is siphoning your energy. It is siphoning away your creative abilities and your ability to give birth, not physically. For some of you, it could be physically, but it is siphoning your ability to give birth. Some of you, I am hearing, so trigger warning, okay? Take this if it resonates. If it doesn't, leave it on the table. For some of you, you are in a relationship where you wanted to have a child, and no matter what you do, it is not happening. I'm hearing this rejection is divine protection, okay? Because this is not the person you should be having a child with. For others of you, you may have tried to start a business, and the person that you're with, maybe on the surface, it may seem like they're supportive, but no matter what you do, this business is not getting off the ground. It is because of the person that you are with. They are siphoning your energy, okay? Then we have the Poet here, which talks about relationships and vulnerability. There is something about you not having the ability to be vulnerable in your own relationship. Now, this could be a sexual relationship, or it could be a friendship or a platonic relationship, but there's something about you not having that vulnerability to really just be yourself, to let yourself be calm, to let yourself just flow into things. And there is a poetry in you flowing, because you got dance here. So there's a lot of fluidity that I'm hearing that needs to happen with you. And you may be living a life that's very rigid, right? You have a very strict schedule that you're on. That is going to change for a lot of you when you step into your energy of creation, okay? Then we have the Acolyte, new projects and learning. So for a lot of you, like I said, you are a creator. That's just who you are, right? So you're going to be birthing a lot of new projects. And in doing so, you're going to learn, right? You may not be, let's say you start a business, but then it, gets so big and then you sell it. You're not going to see this business all the way through. It's not meant to be stuck on you for life. It is meant for you to start new endeavors, new objectives, but you take what you learn from that first thing and then you move into something new. So a lot of pile number 2's energy is all about creation. That is a lot of what I'm getting for you, okay? All right, we're going to get you some fortune teller cards. Actually, let me shuffle these, so you might want to turn the volume down a little bit. One more time, please. Okay. What fortune teller message do you have for pile number 2? Pile number 2, there may be a message in pile number 1 for you as well, because I almost said pile number 1. What fortune teller message do you have for pile number 2, Spirit? Thank you. We have a forgotten dream will resurface, pursue it. So for some of you, this is something you've thought about. Okay, I'm getting two things with this. This is something that you've thought about in the past that you wanted to do, but you haven't done it, and it's resurfacing now, or you've been feeling that energy. For others of you, this could be around you always, like not always, but maybe in a previous life, you were a creator. That's what you did. And you feel that energy now, but you haven't stepped into it. So yeah, I'm hearing that a dream will be actualized. For some of you, you've been dreaming about this. You may create worlds in your dreams. So not everybody is going to resonate with this particular message, but you may feel like you are a creator, that you're limited because you are in this physical body. There's a reason why you feel like that. Okay. And then you have a new chapter is beginning, embrace the change. So for a lot of you, that is a lot of what your life is going to be about, is embracing change, tapping into those new endeavors, doing something different. But it's not going to always be the same, because you're always going to be changing. There's always going to be a new chapter in your life. Okay. Let's get you some miscellaneous messages, because you're a lot of pile number 2's energy is around creation. So we're just going to get some, miscellaneous messages that Spirit may have for you. Okay. Spirit, what messages do you have for pile number 2? We have Parrot. It says someone will gossip about all your secrets. Okay, so there may be a lot of people talking about what it is that you do. For some of you, you may have heard the term spiritual psychosis. For some of you, because of what you're meant to do, there are a lot of people who are going to think that what you're doing is spiritual psychosis. I'm also hearing to move in silence, because it's not everybody's business what you do. And especially because we got the Parrot here, a lot of people are going to be gossiping about you. Let them, right? You're here to do your job. So do your job regardless of what other people say. Then we have Boot. It says increase your efforts if you want to achieve your goals. So like I said, a lot of you are going to have to really tap into that feminine energy and increase your efforts. And this could just be something as simple as tapping into what it is that you want to do. Being afraid to not being afraid to let go of things that no longer serve you, because that's the easiest way to start this, is by letting things go that no longer serve you. Okay. I'm also hearing specifically with this, the boot, the song I'm hearing is these boots are made for walking, and they're going to walk all over you. So for some of you, that song may be, what does it say? These boots are made for walking, and that's what they'll do. One of these days, these boots are going to walk all over you. That's what I'm hearing for you. You are the person in the boot, and you have to let others' opinions of you just fly, because it is what it is, right? Then we have July. So for some of you, your birthday may be in July, or something may happen for you in the month of July. I'm also hearing peach. So you may be in Atlanta, because I'm hearing like the Georgia peach. Then we have fair woman. It says dealings or relationships with a woman with blonde, gray, or white hair. So what I'm hearing is some of you, your ancestors are going to come through you in dreams. I'm seeing the image of an older Black woman with glasses that may be significant for you. So pay attention when this message comes into your life. For some of you, this is weird. This is somebody that is homeless, or the unhoused, I believe is what they're called now. There may be somebody that's unhoused that may give you a message. Spirit is saying ignore the messenger and listen to the message. Okay. Bottom deck energy is dog far away. It says a distant friend is thinking of you. So for some of you, like I mentioned before, you may be in a situation where you feel lonely. You may not have a lot of people around you. That is for a specific reason. Okay. Not everybody is meant to be in your energy. Not everybody is meant to feel the beauty of what it is that you do. They're only meant to experience it from afar. Okay. So pile number 2, this is all the messages that I have for you. Thank you so much for sticking with me all the way to the end. And I will see you next time in our next one. Bye. Hello, pile number 3, and welcome to your piles. So if you chose card number 5, butterfly, then you are in the right reading. So let's talk about the energy that I'm getting from your pile. So pile number 3, did I call you pile number 1? Wow, if I called you pile number 1, I'm sorry. There may be a message for you in pile number 1, but pile number 3, this is your reading. Okay. So the energy that I'm getting from this card already is pollinate. That's the first word that came through for me. And I feel like there is a lot of cross, I guess contamination is the word that's coming through, where you're going to be doing a lot of different things. You're going to be tapping into a lot of different flowers. Your energy around fear is spreading your wings, is what I'm hearing. I'm also getting this energy of that you fear transformation. For some of you, I'm seeing somebody with, what is it? They're like this tattoo where they're like little black birds and then they turn into something else, or they start flying. They're like in, you see like one or two or three of them, and then at the end, the last two or three are flying, is what I'm getting. You're afraid to fly. And I was, I don't know why I was getting ready to say this, but you're afraid to let your freak flag fly. So I take that if it resonates. If it doesn't, leave it on the table. But there is something here about cross-pollination. I keep getting that. This energy about you not always staying in one place. You may be a traveler. Part of what you want to do in this life is travel, but you may have fear because you're a single woman or a single man, or your particular race, and the places that you want to go to may not be particularly friendly to your race. But there's something about you wanting to do things across different, I'm hearing diasporas. I'm also hearing that you want to do things across different religions. So you may be the type of person who you study a specific thing. So an example of this, like I mentioned, religion, but you study Buddhism, you study Christianity, you study spirituality, like you study everything, right? There may be something here about you being in more than one particular field where you don't limit yourself. So another example of this is, let's say that you love the study of flowers, right? I think it's a botanist, I think is what you call it. But you also go into trees, or you go into the birds that, pollinate those trees, or not pollinate, but like, dropping seeds so that other trees can, come to life, or you tap into butterflies and how they get into that space. So there's something about you putting your hands on a lot of different pots. You may be a linguistics major, so you may tap into a lot of different languages. There's something about you not being stuck in one place. You may also resonate with pile number 2 because their pile was a lot about transformation and, being creator and being willing to let go. For some of you, the thing that you fear is stepping outside of your comfort zone. The thing that you fear is learning more than one thing. So an example of this, I brought up religion earlier. Maybe you've been a Christian your whole life, but you're interested in learning about Buddhism. You're interested in learning about Catholicism, whatever it is. There's something about you having a fear of stepping out of your own comfort zone and trying something new, or listening to something new, or having a different way of thinking, right? So let's say you're a Republican and you have always been a Republican, but you're hearing the words of Democrats and you're hearing words of independence, and you want to study those things and figure out. Some of you, what you're meant to do in this life is be a bridge between worlds, right? So this could be physical world. This could be between different denominations. There's something about you being a bridge. There's something about you needing to have or desiring to have this understanding of more than one thing. And Spirit is saying to go for it, right? Don't limit yourself, right? Maybe you study one type of psychology, but you're interested in all 40, 50, I don't know how many there is, right? There's something about cross-pollination. There's something about you not always doing the same thing over and over again. I'm also hearing the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again. That is not you. You're the type of person who like, okay, I got this, now I want to learn this. And then I got this, I want to learn this. Now, like, so for some of you, your part of your fear is, I learned this thing and I'm really, really good at this thing. And I don't really want to learn something else, right? Or I don't think it would be beneficial, or would it take away the knowledge I've learned in this particular thing? Spirit is saying no, like you're meant to have your hands in a lot of different pots, okay? For some of you, I'm hearing like secret society. So you may be a part of a secret society, or you may want to study secret societies to get an understanding of how the world works, okay? Let's get you some messages from this deck. You might want to turn it down because I'm going to shuffle. Let's see. For some of you, you're meant to transform the world, I'm hearing. It's almost like so if you know anything about Religion seems to be coming up really heavy in your pile. So I don't know if that's something you're really interested in, but a lot of the examples I'm getting are around religion. So let's say that you are the type of person who you see pieces of Buddhism in Christianity, and you see it in Catholicism, and you see it in all these other faiths, right? You are the bridge to, Spirit may be using you as a bridge to show people that we're all one, right? Regardless of if you believe in this or believe in that or see this or see that, we're all one. Part of what you're here to do has something to do with DNA, I'm getting. There is this understanding of all DNA comes from something, right? I know I'm not explaining this right, but there's something about you showing the humanity of people, because I know that there is a difference in, DNA and things like that, but there's something about the core of who we are is all the same. We're all humans, right? There's something about you bringing humanity to the forefront of conversation. So let's say if you're in a conversation about race, right? And you're the person who can show or help people to see that we all have commonalities. We all have things that are the same. We all have things in common, things that we like, even though we're from a different race, even though we speak a different language, right? For some of you, you may be a musician, because I just heard that music is universal. Like, that's the words that just came into my head, is that music is universal. So for some of you, you may speak through music. You may love different genres. You may not, specifically only like one, or only deal with one, or only produce one, or sing one. You may love several different types of music, because I'm specifically getting music because I just heard music is universal. So for some of you, part of what you're here to do is music, is sing. For some of you, I'm hearing that you're going to be singing with no words. A lot of what you're going to be saying is sound. So if that resonates and if something you've been wanting to do, then this is your confirmation. Okay, let's get you some messages. Spirit, what messages do we need for pile number 3 about the things that they fear? So we have pine tree, vitality, longevity, and perseverance. Okay. Then we have broom, energy clearing, refreshing. Okay. For some of you, I'm hearing that you want to, or you sing to the trees. I'm also getting this image of you being in a forest, dancing naked. I don't know if that's something you're into, but that's the image I'm getting. So we have tend. It has maintenance, encouragement, guidance. Yep. That is definitely your energy, that guidance, that encouragement. That is definitely your energy for sure. We have roots, healthy patterns, early growth. Okay. And then your bottom deck energy is chamomile. So it has gentleness, relaxation, and sleep. Okay. Pile number 3. Here's the energy that I'm getting. A lot of what you are going to be doing in this life is persevering, okay? You're going to be moving through things that are, okay, allow me to be a little woo-woo for a minute, okay? You're going to be moving through things that are beyond you. You're going to be moving through things that cannot be readily explained by science. It cannot readily be explained by the things that people know. For some of you, you're going to be, so there are 2 sets of people here. You're either going to be on one side where it's like you strictly stick to the facts and logic. And then for others of you, you're going to be more on the spiritual side where you can see beyond. And I think that's why religion came in so heavily for you. You're going to be able to see beyond the physical. Okay. But part of your dharma, or things that you need to do in this life, is persevere, right? That is going to be heavy for you, because there are going to be a lot of people who are going to think you're crazy. There are going to be a lot of people who are going to want to argue with you. You may also be a debater. But there's going to be a lot of vitality in what you do. There are people in certain circumstances, or in certain, I guess, debate, so to speak, there may be only one person who understands what it is that you're trying to do. And that's the only person that you were meant to come into that conversation to influence, or to help them understand something different. I'm also hearing broom. So like, not hearing, but you got the card broom, which talks about clearing energy and refreshing. So for some of you, because of the work that you have to do in this life, you might want to get some selenite. You're going to need to clean your energy a lot, because a lot of times you are going to be the person in the middle on opposing sides, right? You are going to be that middleman. You are going to be the person that's in the middle. I think I talked about this in pile number 2. You're going to be the bridge, right? You are going to be the bridge between other worlds. Or was it here? I can't remember. One of these piles, I talked about a bridge. You are going to be the bridge between worlds. You are going to be the medium. And a lot of times when so think about a bridge. There's a lot of people walking back and forth on this bridge. There's debris. There is trash. There is gunk that's being left behind. You are going to need to seriously clean your energy. If you don't know anything about protection work, I would definitely say to learn how to do that. Whatever it is that you need. I'm also hearing the word lavender for you. You may work with lavender or need to, or the color purple may be significant for you because it is going to help you balance your energy. It's going to help you calm your energy all the way down. For some of you, I'm also hearing to tell you to tap into your chakras, so your root, your sacral, your solar plexus, your heart, all of it. You need to tap into that because you're going to really need to be in alignment, because you are going to be the middle ground between opposing sides. Okay. For some of you, you may be an anchor is what I'm hearing, a news anchor, or that may be something that you want to do. Okay. Your third card is Tend. So it says maintenance, encouragement, guidance. So this is kind of goes into a little bit of your second card, which talks about energy clearing. Make sure that you maintain your health. Make sure you maintain your energy. And then also I'm getting you are going to be the guide for other people. So make sure that you are keeping yourself clean. And this could be physically, this could be mentally, emotionally, making sure that you keep yourself clean. Find a way to always fill up your cup, because you're always going to be in the middle with opposing viewpoints, like between, the right and the left, the wrong and the right, the west and the south, whatever it is, right? You're going to be in the middle. You're going to be a neutral person. For some of you, you may be in HR because that's kind of part of their job, is to be very neutral. But you are going to be the person that's almost going to have to keep not just others clean, but yourself, I'm hearing, because there's going to be a lot of gunk and a lot of energy that is going to be attached to you. You may even find yourself a little alone. For some of you, definitely came from pile 2 because that came in their pile, but you may find yourself alone in this life. Okay. Then you have roots here. It says healthy patterns, early growth. So for some of you, this is something you've been feeling since you were a kid. For others of you, by doing this work, you are clearing away a lot of karmic energy, not just for yourself, but for your ancestors and for those who are coming after you. I'm hearing that these roots in you run deep. You may have had a mom or a dad or a grandmother or grandpa who did something around this, like they were like a mediator in a previous life or something like that. But it's something about this is already in your life. I'm also hearing, I think I might have said this, but you are going to be a mirror for a lot of people, where you are reflecting back to them who they are and what it is that they want to do, or what it is that they see, or their beliefs, right? And you're going to be almost reenacting it from a different opposing side. That's what I'm hearing. I don't know how much sense it makes, but that's what I'm hearing. Your bottom deck energy is chamomile. So it says gentleness, relaxation, and sleep. So for a lot of you, like I said, you're going to be that bridge in between. You want to make sure that you are taking care of yourself. You want to make sure that you're relaxing, but also speak from a place of love. Speak from a place of understanding. Hold on. I'm going to shuffle these. Speak from a place of love. Speak from a place of understanding. Chamomile tea may be good for you, or you may benefit from working with chamomile. Chamomile, you may benefit from that. I'm also hearing marshmallow root. I'm not specifically sure what that is for, but I'm hearing it, so I'm just going to say it. You might want to look up the benefits or what working with marshmallow root could do for you. Okay, let's get you some information or cards from your ancestors. Okay, ancestors, what messages do you have for pile number 3 about their fear? And so for some of you, you may fear being that bridge because people may say, well, you're too indecisive. You never make a decision. It's because you're not meant to. You're meant to be a bridge so that others can see themselves through you, right? And like, I'm getting this image of like, there's a mirror here, like you are the mirror, right? Let's say the right is looking at this mirror and they get to see themselves. And then the left is looking at this mirror and they get to see themselves, right? That's what you're meant to do. You're meant to provide a place where people who truly want to hear the other side are willing to do so. Okay, we have Boo Boo the Fool, possibilities and potential. So for some of you, I haven't heard that in a long time. For some of you, that may be what it feels like a lot of times, where people are like, people may say this to you. Do you think I'm Boo Boo the Fool? Or for some of you may feel like that because it feels like you're always going on a new adventure. And it may feel crazy to jump off these cliffs, right? Not a physical cliff, right? But to jump into these situations and be in that mediator. Okay. Then we have Father of Fire, passion ignited. Okay. Yeah, you're going to be dealing with a lot of passionate people. They're going to have their way of doing things. And you're going to have to learn how to balance between all of those energies, right? And I just saw the Temperance card, which to me a lot of times talks about balance. You may also be a Libra, I'm hearing. And then we have Mother of Water, emotional self-care. Bottom energy is Goddess, the Goddess circle, wheel of change. Okay, so let's talk about it. So we already talked a little bit about the Boo Boo the Fool card. Like, you are going, it feels like you're going to always be going on a new adventure. You're always going to be bridging those gaps. A lot of times you're going to be going into situations diving headfirst, headfirst without any knowledge of what you're going to be doing. But you're meant to do this and you know that this is your path. So you're going to be diving in anyway. Then we got the Father of Fire, passion ignited. Like, there is going to be a lot of passion in what you do. You're going to love what you do. But there's also this energy of, especially if you are in the middle, there's so many opposing energies that's coming at you, and they're going to be very fiery and very passionate. You also may be an Aries, I'm hearing, or Scorpio, but there may be a lot of energy that is coming toward you, which is why your third card is emotional self-care. You have to take care of yourself, not just physically, but emotionally, spiritually. You want to be healthy. I would definitely say, for those of you where this resonates with you, you definitely want to tap into your ancestral your ancestors and your higher self so that they can help you keep yourself clean. I'm also hearing for some of you, if you have not given an offering to your ancestors lately, now you know if this applies to you. If you don't do this, then this is not for you. If you have not given an offering to your ancestors lately, you might want to do that. I'm specifically seeing an offer of whiskey, like a dark amber liquid. So for some of you, you may need to give them coffee. You may need to give them whiskey. I'm specifically hearing. I'm hearing vodka as well. I don't know why. But for some of you, you need to give an offering to your ancestors, okay? Your bottom deck energy is the golden circle, wheel of change. So for a lot of you, there's a lot of change happening in your life. I mentioned this in the very beginning, that some of us has been feeling almost this anxious energy for the past 2 weeks or 3 days, where we're waking up and we're feeling like, oh my God, something is about to happen, or like this almost nervous energy. Is because on a a molecular level, on a spiritual level, you feel you feel that things are changing and the wheel of fortune is about to change in your favor, and you may find yourself being more of a mediator in your personal life, and then it will expand into other things that you do. Okay, I'm also hearing to tell you that this could very well be a lonely life. You could even be in a relationship and feel lonely. I just wanted to put that out there because I heard it. Okay, sorry, you might want to turn it down and shuffle one more time. Let's get you some additional information about your fear and how to overcome it. Yeah, I'm hearing there's power in your fear. We have fruits of labor. It's time to reap the benefits of your labor and become rich. Rich gain is here. So for some of you, this is not just physical richness. This is rich in spirit as well. A lot of you, there is a lot of praying and manifestation that you've been doing. And spirit is saying that the fruits of your labor are going to come to pass. But it is going to start with you facing your own fear. We have gift. It says you will discover new talents that will lead to new opportunities. Use opportunities that arise. So for some of you, a new opportunity is coming. You may get a job in a space where you feel like more in a mediator type of situation. But spirit is also saying the fruit, because you got fruits of your labor and then gifts. So a gift is definitely coming to you. This feels more on a spiritual plane. It could be physical, but it feels more on a spiritual plane to me. Then we have star power. It says become an influencer of the company and earn fame, popularity. Step into the spotlight. So for some of you, you are used to being behind the camera. Exhibit A. You are used to being behind the camera. You're used to doing things behind the scenes. But for some reason, I'm feeling like part of your fear is stepping out into the unknown, like putting your foot out there and letting people see you, letting people hear you, because you may think people are going to think you're crazy, but you have a lot of star power in you. There are a lot of things that you need to do on a bigger scale. I'm also hearing for some of you, you've been playing it small, and Spirit is saying no more. You will not be allowed to play it small, because what you have to do, you're going to be on a big stage to do what it is that you're doing, right? The bottom deck energy is opportunity. It says new job opportunities, change of workplace or business trip. Change is coming just in time. What did I say? You got the wheel of change here. There is a lot of change coming to you. For some of you, this is Spirit telling you that a new job opportunity is coming to you very, very soon. For some of you, I'm seeing a house. So if you are interested in getting a new home, that is definitely something that is going to be happening for you very soon. Okay, let's get you some additional cards. Spirit, any additional messages that pile number 3 needs to hear? Anything that could help them come out of this fear and into their freedom? Thank you. We have vase or vase. It says vessel, growth, bloom. A new opportunity will soon fill your life with vibrant possibilities. Pile number 3, there is a new opportunity coming to you. This is the 3rd time you've gotten the word opportunity. You have it here, here, and now here. So there's something definitely growing. A new opportunity is coming into your life. I'm also hearing, for those of you that did not resonate with the previous message, this new opportunity may scare you, is what I'm hearing. That's what I'm hearing to tell you. This may be something that is outside of your comfort zone. Spirit is saying still take that leap. Also, remember when I talked about lavender, you have lavender here and here. For some of you, you really do need to work with lavender. It is going to be very beneficial for you to make sure that you're keeping yourself calm. Okay. Bottom deck energy is drier, balance, enjoyment. It says build a cycle of release, feel fresh with a lighter heart. Yes, for some of you, you are going to have to come up with your own ritual to release things that no longer serve you, things that should not be in your aura. You're going to have to come up with a way to release them. I am going to do some love messages for you, because we got that, you may be lonely card. So not card, but I got that message. So let's get you some messages from the romance deck. Spirit, any messages for pile number 3 around romance? Any messages that they need to hear at this time? I just heard I could be the one. So there may be somebody that's coming into your life that could be the one. We have reconciliation here. It says someone from your past is returning to your life. So for some of you, this is a good thing, and for some of you, it is not. There is somebody that's coming back into your life. For others of you, this is about reconciliation with your past of who you are and stepping more into that now. Okay. All right. We have, it is safe for you to love. So it says open your heart to receive, open your heart to give and receive the highest energy of all. I don't know why I can't read right now. The energy that I'm getting from this is that love is coming in for some of you. This could be love of self. But for some of you, you are afraid to be loved, to love and be loved. So Spirit is saying to open yourself up to being, open to love and the energy around love, not just for others, but for yourself. Okay. For some of you, you've been hurt in your past life as well. And it has kind of shied you away from love in this particular life. Spirit is saying be more open to love. Okay. Spirit, can we get one more card in the bottom deck energy, please, for pile number 3? One more card, please. It's too many. Let's keep shuffling. Oh, there we are. Wow, we have true love. This is the romance of a lifetime. So for some of you, true love is really is coming into your life. I'm hearing Roman Empire. So for some of you, that may be specific to you, but true love is definitely coming into your life. And like I always tell people, it doesn't necessarily have to be romantic true love. It can be platonic. It could be love of what you do. But for some of you, this is about a romantic relationship. Wow. What? Did I not say that I heard this could be the one, or I could be the one? Look at the card. This could be the one. It says you've already met the romantic partner you seek. So for some of you, you already know this person. That is a part of the reconciliation that's coming in for you. But like literally, I heard, if I'm not mistaken, it was in this power. I heard I could be the one, or this could be the one, because there's a song called I Could Be the One. So for some of you, you've been wondering if this person that you're talking to is the one. Yes. Or this is somebody that you have had some type of communication with, and you're wondering if they could be the one. You'll know if this resonates, right? I'm not talking about somebody who is, abusive or anything like that. If you have this feeling like, okay, I really feel connected to this person, could this person be the one? Spirit is saying yes. Okay, let's get you some miscellaneous messages, see what other messages Spirit might have for you. Spirit, what messages do you have for pile number 3? We have dragon, beware of self-delusion. I just saw the love card in my head. So for some of you, a lot of love is really coming in. But for others of you, I'm hearing be aware of like deluding yourself. We are ending the year of the dragon. If I'm not mistaken, tomorrow is the year of the fire horse. So for some of you, there may be a lot of delusion that's been happening in your life. Spirit is saying be aware of that. Be aware of people coming into your life and spreading delusion as well. Then we have tiger. It says doing something risky, taking a chance. Yep, not surprised. We have archway. It says new opportunity. Wow. Pile number 3. You have new opportunities, possibilities, and paths opening up. So for some of you, there is a new opportunity you've been waiting to hear back about. Spirit is confirming that it is going to happen, because this is what, the 4th time you got the card opportunity, or heard the word opportunity. I think you had it here, 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 and here, right? That's 4 times that you've heard the word opportunity. Something is coming in for you. Something is about to change. Okay. What are the cards? Thank you, Spirit. We have peacock. It says beware of great pride. So I would also say this: do not let others steal your joy. I'm hearing also be aware of like the task that Spirit is giving you, what you have to do in your life. Don't let pride get in your way. Make sure that you are neutral. Like I said, I was seeing a Libra. You may be a Libra, because I kept seeing the scales in my head. Make sure that you are neutral, right? We have ear, good news. So for some of you, whoever it is in this pile, your energy is coming through very loud. If you're worried about a new opportunity, it is coming. Okay, good news is going to come to you soon. Then we have dealings or relationship with a man. So for some of you, this is that love match that's coming into your life. So beware of that. And then you have coins. Money will be coming soon. So for some of you, if you have been in a place of debt, I'm specifically hearing, or you haven't been able to pay your bills on time or at all, that is about to change. There's a lot of financial blessings that's coming into your life for you to get that card as your bottom deck energy. Okay, so pile number 3, thank you so much for sticking it out with me all the way to the end. I had a great time reading for you, and I'll see you next time in our next one. Bye.